I was a guide, a tourist guide. And on one of the tours, I met my wife. We got married and we decided to go to South Africa. But then we decided to go back to Israel. I wanted my children to have a Jewish upbringing. So we went to Israel and we joined a Moshav Shitufi. It's an agricultural commune. We had 168 families working together. We had all our own homes. It was just a wonderful life. We had everything that we needed. One day, I slipped and fell on my back, and I severed my spinal cord in 2 places. And then they took me to the hospital, and then they operated, and after the operation, I was paralyzed. I asked the doctors what's going on. Then he said to me, "Mr. Yaniv, we did make a mistake, and you will be paralyzed for life." I couldn't believe that something like this could happen to me. And this is how I lived for 7.5 years, a piece of meat on a wheelchair. And 7.5 years later, I was at home with this flu, and I switched on my television set, and I saw 700 Club. And I thought, this is great, this is exactly what I need. You know, the connotation club, I expected a program with dancing girls, with music, you know, one of those club programs, only to find out that they were talking about Jesus. We were taught in Israel that Christians are anti-Semites, they hate Jews. A Jewish boy in Israel watching Jesus, I mean, who heard a thing like this? I watched the 700 Club for one reason only. There were people sharing their testimonies. I thought to myself, why should I only feel sorry for myself? Let me watch these people moan and groan and feel sorry for themselves. It made me feel better, you know, a psychological thing. And about 2 years later, when I watched the 700 Club, Danuta Soderman, that particular day, she said, there is someone who's been paralyzed for many years. He will be healed. You know, after 2 years watching people getting healed, you start believing. I said, I'm claiming this. But nothing happened. I must admit, I was a little bit disappointed when it didn't happen that particular minute. The next morning, however, in order to get out of bed, I always had to assist my legs, and there was feeling. And I said to my wife, Sheila, just come quickly and have just see, I can feel. And she said, rubbish, lie down. And she took a needle and she started to prick me. And I felt every prick. And I thought I better stop her before she's going to make a sieve out of me. We went to the hospital and they all examined me, couldn't find anything wrong, and ended up giving me a letter that this is a medical miracle. But let me tell you something, on that very day, I walked home. I mean, you know, here, paralyzed for 7.5 years, and I walked home. I've learned a big lesson. God can change things. This is the greatest power that we have. In fact, it's the only power that we have.